Hello everyone, welcome to Tutor Wale. Today's topic is working of institutions. So let's start it. How is a major political decision taken? So, office memorandum, a communication issued by an appropriate authority starting the policy of decision of the government. Office memorandum is issued by the government of India on date 13 August 1990. Registration number is this SCT. According to this order, 27% of our vacancies in civil post and service under the government of India were reserved for the social and economical backward classes and backward caste. According to this memorandum, जो भी 25% ऑफ वैकेंसीज है सिविल पोस्ट की एंड सर्विसेज की वो रिजर्व रहेगी सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिकल बैकवर्ड क्लासेस के लिए. Next slide. Who are the decision makers? Now, according to you, who are the decision maker? President, Prime Minister, Parliament. Such as a major decisions are taken by the like in your house, who will take a decision? Obviously your father, because he is a president or sorry, he is a prime minister or president of your house. In a democracy, the representatives have to follow some rules and procedures because they have to work within a institution, right? So, legislature, executive, and judiciary, they are two parts of our parliamentary system of our government. Three houses of our government play a these houses play a key role in major decisions. First, president is a head of a state and is the highest formal authority in the country. Prime Minister is a head of a government and actually exercise all government powers. He take most of the decisions in cabinet meeting. Parliament, it consists of two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The Prime Minister must have a support of majority of Lok Sabha. Who are sorry, Mandal Commission. Now, according to Mandal Commission, the government of India had appointed the second backward classes commission in 1979. It was headed by S.H. BP Mandal. It was asked to determine the criteria to identify the socially and educationally backward classes in India and recommended steps to be taken for their advancement. One of the main recommendations of this commission was that 27% of our government jobs be reserved for socially and educationally backward classes. And this is a picture of Shri BP Mandal, Brand Bihar. Sorry. The government to implement the Mandal Commission report. The President, in his address to Parliament, announced the intention of a government to implement the recommendation. On August 6, 1990, the Union Cabinet took a formal decision. Next day, Prime Minister VP Singh informed the Parliament about decision through the statement. The decision of a cabinet was sent to the Department of Personnel and Training. The senior officers of a department drafted an order and took the ministers of approval. And this is the most important question. Anti-Mandal protest. Protest took form to attack on a public property, burning buses, rallies, meeting and discussions in press. End of the protest. Case हुआ, Supreme Court and High Court in India settled disputes. In 1992, Supreme Court declared that this order of Government of India was valid. Need of political institutions. Now, Institutions involve meeting, committee, and routine. This often leads to a delay and complications. Some of the delays and complications introduced by the institutions are very useful as they provide an opportunity for a wider set of people to be consulted. Institutions make it difficult to have a good decision taken very quickly, but they also make it equally difficult to rush through a bad decisions. According to what is institutions first, the several institution is in simple form. A several arrangement are made in modern democracies which are called institutions. Democracy works well when these institutions perform function assigned to them. What are the role of various institutions? All the important decisions are taken by the prime minister and the cabinet. The civil servant working together are responsible for taking steps to implement the minister's decision. The Supreme Court is an institution where the disputes between citizens and the government are finally settled. Three organs: legislative, executive, and judiciary. The parliament. The parliament uh, in all democracies, an assembly or elected representatives exercise supreme political authority on behalf of the people. In India, such as a National Assembly of elected representatives is called parliament. At a state level, this is called legislature or legislative assembly. Parliament consists of president and two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The Parliament is a union legislature of India which comprises of the President, the Council of State, Rajya Sabha, the House of People, Lok Sabha. Now, what is Lok Sabha? Lok Sabha is a House of a People or lower chamber. It is usually directly elected by a people and exercise the real power on behalf of the people. The total number of elected member of a Lok Sabha is 545, plus two members are nominated by the President of India from Anglo-Indian community. Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is known as the Council of States or upper chamber. It is indirectly elected and performs special functions such as interest of various states, regions, and federal units. The total number of members of Rajya Sabha is 250 plus 250 plus 12 members are nominated by the president from literature, science arts, and social services. And yes, it is a permanent body. Power of Lok Sabha over Rajya Sabha. Any ordinary law, uh, any ordinary law has to be passed by both of the houses. But if there is a difference between the houses, the final decision is taken in a joint session. Owing to a larger number of the view of a Lok Sabha is likely to prevail. Okay, now Lok Sabha exercise more power in money matter. In money bill, Lok Sabha exercise more power than the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can suggest changes in such matters, but the Lok Sabha has the final say in these matters. No confidence motion. The Lok Sabha control the Council of Ministers. The government has to quit if they lose the confidence of a Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha does not have this power. Executive. At different level of the different government, there are some functionaries who take our day-to-day decisions. All those functionaries are collectively known as executive. They call executive because they are in a charge of execution of a policies of a government. Thus, when we talk about the government, we usually means executive. Further, the executive is classified into two parts. Political executive or political leaders or ministers. Permanent executive, member of civil servant. A political executive or the political executive is elected by the people of specific period, for example 5 years. Ministers fall in this category. And permanent executive, there are some people who to assist the political executive in carrying out day-to-day administration. They are appointed for a long period of time. This is called permanent executive or civil service. Service or servant. A prime minister. Prime minister, all knows the president appoint the prime minister, and on the advice of a prime minister other ministers are appointed by the president. The minister should be the member of parliament. A person who is not the member of parliament can become a minister, but he has to get elected to one of the house within 6 months. Power of prime minister. As I share, he chairs cabinet meetings and coordinate the work of the different departments. He take final decisions. He distribute the work to the ministers and has a power to dismiss the ministers. Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers is the official name of a body that includes all the ministers. It includes the following type of minister. It has usually 60 to 80 ministers of different ranks. It comprises of 20 ministers. They are usually top level leaders of a ruling party. In the name of council minister, they take decisions. Minister of State with independent charge. They are usually in charge of small ministries. They participate in the cabinet meetings if when specially invited. They are attached to and required to assist cabinet ministers. The president. Is the head of a state. He exercises only nominal power. He represents the country but does not rule it. He is not elected directly by the people. Mummy. The president. He is the head of a state. He exercises only nominal power. He represents the country but does not rule it. He is not elected directly by the people. The MPs and MLAs elect him. Power of president. All the major appointments are made in the name of president. All international treaties and agreements are made in the name of president. The president is the supreme commander of the defense force of India. All laws and major policy decisions of a government are issued in the name of president only. The bill passed by the parliament because a law only after the president gives assent to it. The president appoints the prime minister and other ministers on advice of a prime minister. The presidential system. In presidential form of government, the president is both head of a state and a government. For example, USA. In USA, like Donald Trump, he is the head of whole country, government, and a state of USA. He take all major and minor decisions by himself. The USA Prime Minister is directly elected by the people. He personally chooses and appoint ministers. The Prime Minister can veto any law made by the legislature. President does not need the support of majority and neither he is answerable to them. He has a fixed tenure or 4 year. India has a parliament system of a government as it follows the British model. Judiciary. All the court of a country are collectively referred to as a judiciary. The Indian judiciary consists of the Supreme Court, द हाई कोर्ट एंड अ डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट. जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट होता है वो कोर्ट फॉर एंटायर कंट्री होता है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट पूरी देश का कंट्री है. दिस इज नाम सुप्रीम से ही आप पता कर सकते हो. हाई कोर्ट एक स्टेट कोर्ट होता है और डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक लोकल लेवल कोर्ट होता है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट in India, Supreme Court controls the judicial administration. It take any dispute between citizens of a country's citizens and government, between two or more state government, between government and the union and state level. It is the highest court of a appeal of a criminal cases. Independent of a judiciary. Now, all independent and a power judiciary is considered essential for our democracies. Independence of a judiciary means that it is not under the control of legislature or the executive. Indian judiciary is considered as an independent owing to the following reasons. That reasons are: the judges of a Supreme Court and a High Court. The judges of a Supreme Court and a High Court are appointed by the President on the advice of Prime Minister and in consultation with the Chief Justice of a Supreme Court. In practice, it means that the senior judges of a Supreme Court select the new judge of the Supreme Court and the High Court, and there is very little scope of interference of political executive. A judge can be removed only by an impeachment motion passed by separately by two-thirds member of a two houses of a parliament, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The salary and allowance of the judge cannot be decreased except during emergency. The court in India have a power to judicial review. They can declare invalid any law of the legislature or the actions of the executive, whether at a union level or a state level, if they find such a law or action is against the constitution. The power and the independence of an Indian judiciary allow it to act as a guardian of a fundamental right. Judicial review is the power of Supreme Court to review that a law passed by legislature. ये मैंने आपको बता दिया है कि वो कोई भी कर सकती है अगर किसी भी लॉ को वो इशू होने से रोक सकती है अगर उसे लगता है कि वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ जा रही है. Now that's it for today. Let's do question answer quickly. The first question is, if you are elected as the president of India, which of the following decisions you can take on your own? Ask for, this is the answer, C part. Ask for reconsideration of a bill passed by both the houses. Who among the following is a part of a political executive? Home Minister. Which of the following statement about the judiciary is false? That every law passed by the parliament need to the approval of a Supreme Court. Which of the following institution can make changes to the executing of the judiciary? The parliament. Now match the followings. A new policy of the new policy of being made to increase the jute exports from the country. इसका आएगा Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Telephone service will be made more accessible to rural areas. ये कौन हैंडल करेगा? Ministry of Communication and Technology. The price of rice and wheat sold under the public distribution system will go down. Ministry of Agriculture and Agriculture, Food and Public Distribution. A pulse polio campaign will be launched. Ministry of Health. And last, the allowance of the soldier posted on the high altitudes will be increased. Ministry of Defense. Of all the institutions that we had studied in this chapter, name the one of the exercise. Okay. Decisions on allocation of money for developing infrastructure like road, irrigations, etc. The different welfare activities of our citizens. These kind of things handle Lok Sabha, Ministry of Finance. Consider the recommendations of the Committee on a Law to Regulate the Stock Exchange. The answer is Parliament. C. Decides on a legal disputes between two states. Answer is Supreme Court. Implement the decision to provide relief for the victims of an earthquake. The answer is executive. In a parliamentary, why is a prime minister in India does not directly elected by the people? Choose the most appropriate answer and give the reasons. In a parliamentary, I think the most appropriate answer is in the parliamentary democracy, only the leaders of a majority party in the Lok Sabha can become the prime minister, because the provision is made so that the leader of a party has a majority before he comes the PM. Three friends went to watch a film that showed the hero becoming chief minister of a day and becoming big changes in the state. Imran said that this is a country need. Rizwan said that this is kind of a personal rule without institution is dangerous. Shankar said all this is a fantasy. No minister can do anything in one day. What would be your reaction in such a film? The, There is no such provisions where a man can become a CM for a day. A proper institution is needed for any state to run. Similarly, as a CM, he needs his council to make decisions and administers. One day is not enough to pass law, as all laws are implemented following a certain procedures. A teacher was making preparation for a mock parliament. She called two students to act as a leader of a two political party. She gave them an option. Each one could choose a Lok Sabha or a Rajya Sabha. If this choice is given to you, which would student should choose on their own? A suggestion would be right for both. However, the majority in Lok Sabha is more powerful. A member of a Lok Sabha are directly elected by a people. Hence, the majority of a Lok Sabha means the Prime Minister will be from your party. And this is a powerful position. After reading the example of reservation order, three students had different reactions about the role of a judiciary. Which view, according to you, is correct reading of a role? Okay. So, according to me, Anjiha says that a judiciary is independent is because it could have a given verdict against the government order. The Supreme Court did direct the government to modify it. Okay, that's it for today. Best of luck. Best of luck. Read the chapter thoroughly. Do question answers. Practice. And thank you.